Hello, Mr. Terry. Another day, another problem.
Uh-oh.
We had been going live on Twitter. Apparently now we have to have some sort of premium account on Twitter. A premium account on X is required in order to stream on the platform. You can subscribe or X or stream on a different destination. Boy, Facebook is being difficult. Twitter is being difficult. What is with these people?
I don't know. I guess they're just mean or something.
I have no idea what the situation. I mean, I guess tomorrow we'll go ahead and sign up for it on Twitter. I don't know. It's kind of some BS there, but hey, what are you going to do, Terry? We make do with what we got.
That's
right?
it. Yeah, you're right about that.
Always something. In any case, what can you do? All right, Mr. Terry. As always, today is Money Monday on Horse Racing Today here on YouTube. I wonder what they're going to do next. Hopefully nothing. Well,
Yeah,
all that effort you put in and people just playing games with you. In any case, today we don't ever play games around here, Terry. Free picks today over at Horseshoe Indianapolis. That guaranteed tip sheet should be a great day at the track there in Indiana. Make sure you subscribe for that. You can get that over at guaranteedtipsheet.com. There is a link in the description below. Of course, when the show's over, in case you missed the show on Twitter or on Facebook or anywhere for that matter, just go ahead over to horseracingtoday.net. There'll be a recap right here in this window. And while you're there, kindly click on the Horse Racing Today gear shop. Get yourself a See You in the Winner Circle baseball cap. And we'll see you there, hopefully, for sure, a lot today with our picks at Horseshoe Indiana Parx. Pressing way too many buttons today, Mr. Terry. Mm-hmm. You about ready to get started, my friend?
Let's go.
All right. Let's get cracking with race number one.
All right. Well, it's a 5.5 furlong race. It's a maiden claiming race, $10,000 claiming price. Purse $19,000 for maidens, 3-year-olds and upward.
And at 5.5 furlongs, the profile of a winner for that race favors horses, Terry, that have some early speed, as you might imagine. In fact, 55% of the time, the horse that gets to the lead keeps the lead. Post positions 1, 2, and 3 get a discount. 4 and out, a little bit of a fair action. And then 8 and out, you get a bonus, Terry. We do 10,000 simulations around here. Where does this come from? Anybody know how to just get rid of that grouping thing? I find it to be horrible. Anyway, 10,000 simulations. We want to see who has the best chance to get on the lead based upon our projected pace, which horses have the most probability of running a race that matches their best performances or puts them in their comfort zone. Par Plus tells us in our 10,000 simulations how many times they ran a speed figure above par or at par for this level, 71 being the case today. And then looking for value. We want our post-time odds to be higher than our simulation odds. Terry, everything else has been kind of confusing this morning, so help straighten some stuff out.
Well, you can see there that 2 shows a lot of speed in this race, and there's only 2 or 3 others or maybe 4 others that show any speed whatsoever. So that 2 should get there to that quarter pole first. It may go all the way. And then the 2 has an overlay from even money to 5-2. The 7 has an overlay from 2-1 to 5-1. The 2 and the 7 show the only Par Plus numbers. All but the 4 have some kind of C-zone numbers, although that 1 is pretty low.
Yeah, we're looking for ones that are above 50% or close to it at least. So 4 of them in that case here, along with all of our simulations and all the things that we do to try to provide data that you can't get anywhere else. We also plot out trip handicapping and over here pace handicapping. So we touch every stone there is in terms of handicapping styles. 1, 3, and 10 want to be on the lead. You got some flexibility with the 2 horse, can be on the lead or co-pilot. The 9 is a co-pilot. 7 wants to close. So far, the 4 and 5, not within 5 lengths, the winner at the finish line. And the 8 horse here making its first attempt to find a W. Early on, the horse with the most early speed does look like Stay Funny, like we saw in the simulations, is your likely pace setter. At the end of the race, nobody really with outstanding late speed, but Jack Nava has about a length and a half edge. Every 5 points roughly equates to 1 length. Terry, our top total pace horse in this case today are the 7 and the 2, well above everybody else. About a length and a half better than the rest of the field. How do you see the field playing out?
Well, I like the two Stay Funny. He ran second versus Simmer in his only start, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. Then I like the 9 Pacific States. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. Jack Nava, the seven's my third choice. His best start speed is close to the average winning speed. And Omaha Flight 8 is the 5 horse, which is my long shot, drops in class today. He has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 22% of the races when taking a horse from the turf to the dirt. And what we do is we get a $100 budget, and we get to we play $2 to win on our first choice, a dollar exacta box on our first two choices, a 50-cent trifecta box on our first three choices, and a 10-cent superfecta box on our first four choices. In this case, where there's 10 races, that means we spent $84. That leaves us $16 to play elsewhere.
We do spend that $16. I'm going to start with the 2-horse 2 gets to the lead, Terry, and maybe never gives up that lead today. That's what we see in our simulation data. And if this horse does improve at all in its second race, it'd be more than enough to graduate. The 9-horse has the most back class in the race, and another horse that has a good chance to move forward in the second start after a layoff, not second career start. Jack Nava, the 7-horse, 0 for 10 at Parx, so it's not really had a good go of it there yet. But 3 of his last 5 races would probably win relative to the rest of these. And then Make Mine Chrome. Let's go with a long shot in here. Was decently bet in its debut, and that was a long time ago. Man, a year and a half ago, something like that. Drops from a maiden special weight. It has a decent enough work on May 21st to suggest there is enough talent to beat plenty in here. And we're going to probably get a good price to do that. Let's see if indeed that's the case. What are we looking at on that 4-horse in race number 1 at Parx? The 2-horse is your favorite right now. The 4-horse is 14-1. So a little bit, pretty much staying even with where the line is in the morning line. We have plenty of time to do race number 2, probably race number 3 too. If we hustle, Terry, what's the story with the second affair?
Okay, in this second race, we're going to stretch out to 1 mile and 70 yards, but it's off the turf. I think it's still 1 mile and 70 yards. It's a maiden $50,000 purse for maidens, 3-year-olds, and upward.
And at 1 mile and 70 yards, not on the grass, but in the dirt, Terry. Early speed does well, but that really changes things around because on the turf, they were deep closers that usually won. 41% of the time, it actually goes wire to wire. There is a rail discount. 2 and 3 get a bit of a bonus. 4 through 7, a small discount. And 8 and out, a bonus again. So a little bit of an accordion effect there, Terry. Well, I guess we're going from closers being the way to speed being the way. So who's going to show the way?
Well, the 10, 11, and 3 show the speed in here, or the most speed, but it's really anybody's guess who gets that quarter pole first. That 9 shows overlay from about 7 or 8 to 5 to 8 to 1. 10 shows an overlay from 6 to 1 to 10 to 1, and the 13 shows an overlay from 2 to 1 to 4 to 1. And then the 9, 13, and 10 show the only par plus numbers. All of them show C zones, but that 9 is pretty low.
Looks like I have to make some edits on the fly here. I somehow missed the scratch on the 5-horse, but I'll take care of that in just a moment while Terry's making his picks. In race number 2, our race shape tells us, well, you got a lot that want to be on the front. 1 closer. The 1, 4, and 6 have not been within 5 lengths of the leader. This, you got to favor one thing, the speed of the speed or the closer in here, Terry. The speed of the speed in this case today is Cisco Kid, although Star Lord and Freedom Eagle are going to be a part of that mix as well. As you come down the stretch, you're going to find that the 13-horse Tricolor and Evasive Moves, the 1-horse, are your strongest closers. They're more than a length faster than everybody else down the stretch. Ike's Gamble, the 9-horse, of those that should be in the middle of the pack, has the most late speed. Top total pace picture here, Terry, tells us Star Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy, 5 points clear of Ike's Gamble. So perhaps Star Lord is the way to go.
Yeah, I like the 11-horse, though, that came in from Santa Anita to finish third. In his first start at Parx Racing, he has a high percentage winning trainer and switches a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like the 9, Ike's Gamble. He has increased his speed rating in the last 3 starts in a row. and he has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 17% of the route races he has a horse running in, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. The 7 is my third choice, finished second in his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer and a bullet workout on July 9th. My long shot is the 10, Freedom Eagle. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I'm going to play the very first Don Johnson, Miami Vice pick 4. I'm going to use the 7, 9, 11 with the 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 with the 1, 3, 4 with the 4, 7. It's a $45 cost.
I'm going to start. I wasn't going to start off with the 11. I was going to start off the 5, but guess what? He ain't running today. So with that, I'm going to go with the 11 on top. I don't even want to try to pronounce it. Zihuanatejo, maybe something along those lines. Second up.
I didn't pronounce it.
Yeah, well, Zihuatanejo. That's probably how you pronounce it. I don't think the Z, though, is a Z sound in Spanish, though. I think it's like Jahuateneo or something along those lines. I have no idea. Right now, everybody who speaks Spanish wants to throw a pen at me. Anyhow, this one should show some second race off the bench improvement and should be forward against this crew. Tricolor would have been my top pick on the turf, but he's going to be closing pretty hard, and everybody else wants to be forward, and not really everybody up there forward has late legs. Ike's Gamble, the only time that horse ran at Parx, he finished in second, as you mentioned, Terry. The Barry Meadows handicapping angle, alpha angle of 3 consecutive speed figures in a row, that wins at about 15%. Finally, Starlord, as we saw in our top total pace picture, is our top total pace horse by 5 lengths, should be a part of the early speed. And anytime a horse is 5 points or more, probably one that you should absolutely consider in your picks. I'm going to go 3, 9, 11, 13, 3, 4, 6, 1, 3, 5, 6, and 4, 7, although on that back end, I really wish I had a little bit more coverage than 2 horses because I feel like that race is pretty open. Looks like we do have enough time, Terry, to do race number 3, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and do that.
Okay, it's a 1 mile and 70 yards, an allowance race, $41,000 purse for registered Pennsylvania-bred 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a registered Pennsylvania restricted race other than maiden claiming or starter.
And at 1 mile and 70 yards, as we mentioned, speed really does get the job done. 41% of the time, it does so on the lead. Rail discount, Warriors Vendetta, going to have to work a little bit harder. 2 and 3, a bonus. 4 through 7, a small discount. 8 and out, get bonused up as well. Terry, take us through the simulations in the third.
Well, they all show speed, but the 5 has the most speed. But really, it's another one of those anyone guess races. The 4 has an overlay from, let's see,
about basically just giving you money.
Yeah, 1 to 5 to 5 to 2. The 4 also shows the only par plus number, and it's a nice one. And all of them have C zones.
Yeah, only a couple of them, though, the 2 and the 3 getting above 50%. Although the in spades, that big overlay favorite, showing right on that edge there, too. Race 3, our race shape. Well, you got most of the people want to be middle back. Should favor these horses up in here, the 7, 4, and 5. Although the 2 and 3, they are PC types, the most versatile horses in horse racing. At the beginning, winning on the weekend, the PC type, along with Big Boy's Answer. Those 2 should go out to the front about a half a length quicker than everybody else. Our horses down the stretch in spades will be coming the hardest, although Warriors Vendetta on the rail should be closing pretty hard too, but way behind everybody else at the start. So that one might have to scoot a little bit more forward than usual today to be a factor at the end. In spades, this one is 9 points better than everybody else. When you get to 10, Terry, a lot of these horses win, but a lot of them finish second too. So maybe just key that horse in that all 4 position. Maybe that's the smart bet. What do you think?
Could be. Although I do like in spades, he ran second to similar horses in their last race. He has the highest last speed rating at this distance, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. Number 7, Big Boy's Answer, second choice. He likes Parx racing. He's been in the money 72% of the races, winning 18% of the starts. Distance won't cause any problem as he's been in the money 33% of the time. And then the 5, my third choice, drops in class today, and he has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 25% of the races when taking a horse from a turf to the dirt, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. The long shot is winning on the weekends. The 3 he won his last race at Parx Racing. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. No additional bets for me in this race.
I start with the 4-horse too. I think that in spades probably is the one to beat here. At the distance, never out of the money in 6 tries, a couple of wins, a couple of seconds, a couple of thirds. My only question is this horse hasn't fired really in the first start alpha layoff, but the work on June 28th says that the horse is more than likely ready. Lost and confused, that probably describes our show today with the Facebook penalty, Twitter penalty, YouTube, the only place we are allowed to go. Third up, one of his strongest workouts between races. So I'm expecting one of the top performances ever from Lost and Confused. Winning on the weekends, tremendous late pace at times. But this horse either wins or finishes off the board for the most part. 14 races, a quartet of W's, and 1/3. Big Boy's Answer. It was a tough call for me between that one and the 5. But I'm going to take the horse that's going to be a little bit more forward at the start of the race where speed matters. And that's why I put the 7 before the 5. If you haven't done so already, kindly tell your friends about us. We appreciate that. What's up, Umet? Hope things are all well in your world. You can you can copy and paste the share button on YouTube. Put it in Twitter. I don't know if they'll be able to follow us from there or not. Also, let your friends know on Facebook or Instagram, Threads, wherever it is you communicate. You can communicate with us down there at Horse Race, the number 2 day. You'll find us on all those social sites where we're still allowed to be. Because apparently we're a menace to the social media world, Terry.
I don't know why.
I have no reason why.
Maybe we're too good at what we do.
I don't know, Terry. It just seems to me that there's always like, I wish at least, right, that you'd get an email that says, hey, look, if you don't do this by XYZ date, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to do what you've been able to do so far. Anyhow, I mean, that's what I would do, Elon. I mean, I think you're a little bit smarter than that, hopefully. But all right, in race number 1 right now, as far as the odds are concerned, that 2-horse is your 1-to-1 favorite. Next up on the board looks like the 5-horse at 9-2, so a big gap down. Neither one of us has Omaha 8 in our picks. And then the 8 and 9, well, the 9-horse is 6-1. The 8-horse is 8-1. Everybody else in there in double digits. Looking at our simulation odds, it does look like the 7-horse Jack Nava might be the wise choice in terms of value. We have that horse about 5-2. And right now, the folks putting the money in the money pools have Jack Nava at 10-1. So even if our odds are wrong by 100% and it's a 5-1, like the morning line odd maker made it, you're still getting a lot more value than you should. And it's only one of 2 horses that in our simulations showed some ability in our 10,000 sims to get a par plus score, meaning it can run a speed figure of at least 71. So in our simulations, the 7-horse, Jack Nava, did that basically 1,500 out of 10,000 times. Just waiting for them to put the 4 in the gate along with the 10 and the opening race at the opening day for Terry and I for this week of July 15th. Be set. They've gone to the front view of the wide angle. Looks like one of the horse acting up a little bit. The jockey got off, got back on. The final starter's assistance is in, assisting the 10-horse. Looks like everybody's ready. And if you bet the 8-horse, your day is over. The 2-horse is the one that's up on the lead right now. As we suspected, 83% chance to get to the lead, 100% chance he's on the lead right now. And he's kind of drawn away from everybody as they run down the backstretch. The 3-horse right now trying to hold down the second position. That 7-horse, what we mentioned, might be the value. Right now in third, it looks like it's 17-1, although the 5-horse has pulled into that spot. They went through the opening quarter in 22-3, so not all that fast. The 2-horse around the corner on the lead. Looks like that 5-horse is the only one, Omaha 8, that has a shot at this moment to run that guy down. Down on the rail is the 9-horse. He's trying to make a move up the rail, it looks like to me. 5-horse is kind of pulled up alongside that 2-horse. Maybe the bettors at the track knew something there, Terry, because that Omaha 8 at 10-1 morning line just ran by the 2-horse like he was standing still.
Oh,
So
my long.
somebody knew something somewhere with Omaha 8 today, Terry.
I did. I had the 5 as my long shot.
Yes, you did. Well, let's see the 5 horse.
Oh, he went off at 3-1 though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the reason is Paco Lopez, right?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
That's a
Paco
big
got on him. They went to turf the dirt angle. I mean, the
He
horse
dropped
really
in
hadn't
class.
showed much, but he did drop in class a little bit from 16,000. So I know Paco's on there, but 100 out of 100, I'm not going to bet that horse.
Yeah.
And I guess that would have made me a loser. Made me a loser today. Maybe
Yep.
we could do better in race number 4. Let's see, Tatum. How you doing, Tatum? Nice of you to join us. We sorted for your site yesterday evening. Our order was not open. Could you please refund our money? I have no idea what you're talking about. Because which website are you talking about, Tatum? Because we don't charge anything here at horseracingtoday.net. All right, let's move on to race number 4. Is that where we are now, Terry?
Yep.
All right, what's the story with race number 4?
6.5 furlongs. It's an allowance race, $25,000 allowance, $32,000 purse for 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of $25,000 or less, and which have never won a race other than maiden or claiming, or which have never won 4 races.
All right. Saratoga. You did Saratoga racing, but where did you buy it, Dave? Because we don't sell anything on horseracingtoday.net. So can you kind of tell me where you invested your money, and we can see what the story is, perhaps? At 6.5 furlongs, Terry, the profile of a winner favors tactical speed 32% of the time. The horse that has the lead stays on the lead and goes gate to wire. There's a big time rail bonus for Capo. 2 and 3 penalty, 4 through 7 play fair, 8 and out get a discount. Once again, Terry, take us through the simulations.
All right, let's do that. It's all of them show some kind of speed, so it's another one of those races where it's really not apparent who's going to get to that quarter pole first. 2 has an overlay from almost 6-1 to 12-1. 5 has a very small overlay from 5-2 to 7-2. All but the 7 and 4 have par plus numbers, and all but 5 have C zones, but most of them are pretty low.
Yeah, Burn the Evidence, really a very strong C zone score up in here. Pace, race shape, pretty balanced. Maybe a few that want to be more forward than in the back, but they have a lot of flexibility with the 1, 4, 6, and 7. So they're really not tied into any particular running style. Does look like a pretty competitive start to the race, although Burn the Evidence a little bit faster than everybody else by about 3/4 of a length. At the end of the race, Caddy's uncle, the speed horse, if it can get the lead, should be able to maintain its pace with one of the strongest late pace scorers in the race. Jester Song right in that mix too, along with North Pole. Our top total pace horse in here is Caddy's uncle, along with Jester Song. Terry, the top 4 usually produce about 72% of all winners. Any of those top 4, your winner?
I'm going to go with that PC horse, that 4, Afraid of the Bunny, finished 3rd in his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then I'm going to use the 3, Caddy's Uncle, finished in the money his last 3 races, winning the last start, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Capo is the 1, is my 3rd choice, finished 3rd versus similar his last race. The rail post is winning 23% clip, has a winning high percentage winning trainer who wins 20% of the races when taking a horse from a route to a sprint, and his early running speed style will help his chances as he's returning to a sprint. Number 6, Burn the Evidence, is my long shot. He won his last race at Parx Racing. He has a high percentage winning trainer. And then I'm going to play the second pick 4, Miami Vice, Don Johnson. I'm going to use the 1, 3, 4, 6 with the 4, 7, 8 with the 8, 9 with the 1, 3, 4, 8. That's a $48 ticket.
I'm going to start with the 1 horse, Capo, as my top pick here. Taking a small drop in class in the 3rd start after a layoff, Mr. Terry. But looking at this horse, fast dirt today being the key. He's run on it 4 times, won 3 of them. That's the condition he's going to get today. The only other time he ran on a fast track was it was over a mile, perhaps not a route runner. That's the time. Finish off the board. Jester Song, the 5 horse, very consistent performer, should be better in its 2nd race at Parx. The 3 horse, Caddy's Uncle, has 5 consecutive speed figure increases, including the top last race speed figure. And then finally, the 6th, Burn the Evidence. Both of its wins came off the bench like today, and had one of his best published works prepping, and really the only one in here that looks like, no matter what the pace is, will be very comfortable today. My pick 4 is the 1, 3, 5, 6 with the 4, 7, 8, 9, the 4, 8, 9, and then the 1 and the 3 on the back end. Off to race 5 we go. And no, by the way, as far as your refund is concerned, Tafum, if it's a guaranteed tip sheet, send them an email. They'll take care of it for you. So you can find their contact information pretty easily on guaranteed tip sheet. I don't have it in front of me, and I'm not the one that handles those things. Race number 5 is what we'll handle next, Terry. Tell us about that.
It's a mile and 16th. It's a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, purse $20,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since April 15th.
And at a mile and a 16th, the type of horse that usually ends up in the winner's circle, once again, not surprisingly at Parx, they're fast. 41% of the time, they're the fastest to the quarter-mile marker. A little bit of a rail bonus for Dadashev. 2 and 3, a small penalty. 4 through 7, a small bonus. If you wear an 8 or out, you get hammered. Whack-a-mole, Jerry. So you want some inside speed, or at least speed from post 7 and in. Do we find any of that in race number 5?
We sure do. That 1 shows the inside, the highest speed amount, followed up by the 9, the outside horse. But the 1 should get there first if it gets a good break. The 8 has an overlay from about 7 to 5 to 3 to 1. The 9 has an overlay from 5 to 2 to 6 to 1. The 8 and the 9 show the only par plus numbers, and all but the 4 and 6 and show C-zones, all that 1 is really low. So
pretty low, yeah. It's almost non-existent. So it might be on the lead, but be looking around for other horses. Like, what is going on here? In the 5th race, the race shape, well, the 1 horse, we got all that speed, Terry, that you talked about. That's a closer with the left arrow action. Those horses do usually pretty well. Although if you look at the setup here, only 2 that really want to be forward, everybody else middle back. So the 7 or 9, if they can get to the lead, look out. Does look like that 1 horse and the 9 have the most early speed, followed by Singing Through the Storm. I would expect the 1 to have the advantage over the outside horse, but you just never know. At the end of the race, Macabim will be coming much, much faster than everybody else. And really, I mean, he's going to be at the back of the pack, maybe against this crew, not so far off the pace. Top total pace horse in here is Awesome Launch, that 9 horse. So look out if that 9 gets to the lead. Singing Through the Storm right there as well. But if that Macabim is anywhere near the front runners when they come out of that turn, there's no way they're going to be able to hold that horse off. Terry, who did you put at the top of your ticket?
I like 7 Screensaver. Finished 3rd versus similar in his last race. He has a high percentage winning trainer and also a high percentage winning jockey. I like the 4 Crypt. He finished 2nd versus similar in his last race at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer with 31% of the races in the 2nd race after claiming a horse. Make a Bim, the 8 is my 3rd choice. He won 2 races out of the last 4, drops in class today. He has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 20% of the races when taking a horse from turf to dirt. And he has a high percentage winning jockey. And then the long shot is the 9 Awesome Launch. He drops in class today. He has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 20% of the route races. He has a horse running in. No additional bets for me in here.
As for me, we got the same exact picks today, Terry, in this order. Screensaver, I think maybe there's a chance that this one is the better of the 2 Jamie Ness horses. 2 wins and a 2nd on the race following better internal race numbers across the board. So if you kind of just went back and looked to see the 7 horse, looking at its it showed here, you can see what I mean by better across the board. The numbers here, boom, 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 all better than the numbers here. Next race out 2nd. The numbers here, mostly better than the other ones, especially up front, went ahead and won. And then right here, you see again, these numbers all better early on than the last time out. Horse went on to win. So Screensaver hinting that he might be ready to win today. Crypt Horse is the next one for me too. It's another Jamie Ness horse. Showed a lot better early pace in its last race too. So perhaps one of those 2, a Ness double or exacta, excuse me. Macabim, the 8 horse, does have that tremendous late speed, and like I said, if it can stay pretty close to the pace here, they might not be able to fend this one off at the end. And then Awesome Launch. If that one can get to the lead early on, look out. Data says he has a solid chance to be the pace setter. And again, if you look back when that horse has gotten towards the front, winner, didn't really get the front here. The other time he got to the front, did finish a decent fourth. So anytime he's going to win, most likely it'll be on the lead. That's where he may be today. No additional bets for me either, Terry. So let's move forward to race number 6, where there are tons and tons of scratches.
All right. That's because they're going to take it off of the turf onto the regular track. So it used to be 7.5 furlongs. Now it's going to be at a mile on the main track, and it's an allowance race, 41,000. Purse, 41,000 for registered Pennsylvania-bred fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won a Pennsylvania-bred restricted race, and other than a maiden claiming or starter.
So it says you have number 5, Grand Prix Scratch. He is in. The 6th hotspot is.
He's right.
Scratch. So what race? Which race was that? This one?
That was the 5th race, and I fixed it. So.
Okay. So, all right, there we go. All right, so we're in race number 6. So we got that fixed. Thank you, Scary Creations. We appreciate that. You like the 6th Grand Prix dropping to the lowest level ever, or the 5 horse in race number. What race is that one? That last
number
one, right?
Number 5.
Number 5. All right. 7, 8, 9 Grand Prix. Yes, indeed, right there, lowest level ever. All right, so in the 6th race, Terry, you talked about all the early speed and all that stuff, right?
Yes.
And then,
no, I never did. No. I'm sorry.
So that's okay. In the 6th race, the profile of a winner at a mile, you're looking at early speed, 45% of the time, gate to wire winners, rail bonus in this case for True Phenomenon, sort of on the rail. 2 and 3 play fair, 4 through 7 under par, 8 and out, the best place to be. But there's only 5 horses in the race, so you're looking through post positions 1 through 5. It does look like 1, 2, and 3 would be the best in race number 6. So, Terry, take it away on the early speed.
Yeah, 9 and 8 show the only early speed in here, and it's not a lot of speed, but they could go head-to-head to that quarter pole. The 9 shows an overlay from 4 to 5 to 6 to 1. All of them have some kind of par plus numbers, and some of them are pretty darn high, and they all have C-zones.
Our race shape in this limited race tells us for race number 6, everybody wants to be middle 4. The only horse with some versatility is the 4, so perhaps True Phenomenon benefits from that versatility. The beginning of the race, well, it does look like Pure Lure, the 9, is your likely pace setter, though True Phenomenon and the Goddess of Snakes going to be right on its tail. A little bit of a drop off to the 10 or the 5. Late speed, pretty tight picture as well, although Pure Lure, the 9 horse, not only some of the most early speed, but some of the most late speed. Only Goddess of Snakes in the same neighborhood at the end. Pure Lure is 6 points clear of the Goddess of Snakes, who's 4 points clear of True Phenomenon. A little bit of a drop down to the 10 or the 5, Terry. So maybe take these 3, put them in some sort of exacta or trifecta to your liking, and hopefully you get a nice winner in this 5-horse field. Terry, who's yours?
I like the 9 Pure Lure. She finished in the money in 5 races out of 6 career starts, winning 2 of the starts, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 8, the Goddess of Snakes, is my second choice, which is the high percentage winning jockey and is trained by Scott Lake. Number 10, So Fully Sue, is the third choice, finished in the money in her last 3 races, running second on the dirt in her last race. And then number 4, True Phenomenon, is my long shot. She has won 2 out of the last 3 races, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. No additional bets in here for me.
I'm going to start with the 9. Is my Pure Lure. Does have that 5-point early speed advantage, the most late speed by a point, top total pace by 6. And like Scary Creation says, how does he lose? Well, a lot of these horses that, add up like this at Parx actually finish second somehow, some way. It's kind of amazing how that be. So it looks like we got some good news. It says Facebook was restricted as of yesterday as far as going live, but we couldn't go live today either. I don't know what's going on. Just a mess. All right. And then the second up for me is the 8-horse, which is the Goddess of Snakes. Should be one of the co-pilots here today. and also has some of the most late speed. So maybe 9 and 8, run 1-2 around the track, take your $2, like Scary says on that exacta. I think True Phenomenon might be the one. It is the lone EP horse in the field, highly consistent performer, should press forward, and one of the longer shots in the 5-horse field. Number 5, Twister. Fast track is the key. 8 times out, in the money, 6 of those, catching a weight break today. Do we have time to do race 7, Terry?
Let me see here.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, we do.
7
Yeah.
and 8. So let's do race number 7.
All right. We'll surely do that. So we're going to go to 6 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, $32,000 purse for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
Well, if he wants to get it, he can get it back just by going over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet, put in a request. That's what we do. If you're not satisfied for whatever reason, but I told you, Tiff, I cannot do it here, and I'm not the one that processes them. Different roles for different jobs. Like at your job, I'm sure you do something, right? Whereas in our job, I do something. Refunding people's money is not what I do. There are people that handle those requests. So go to guaranteedtipsheet.com, go to where it says contact us, and let them know. Put in your username and tell them you want a refund, and you will get a refund. I can't do it. Race 7. Is that where we are? Race 7, Terry? 8, right?
Race 7.
Race 7. I pressed the wrong button. All right. On the 7th race, they're going to do 6 furlongs, Terry. As you mentioned, the profile of a 6 furlong winner does favor stalkers. There's a rail bonus. 2 and 3 are fair. 4 and out, a small discount. Again, speed being important, but not the over. It's not the end all be all, Terry, but you better be fast. And it does look like, once again, we have one that's a little bit faster than the rest.
Yeah, Navy Blues has the best speed, according to what we see here, followed up by Boom Boom Kaboom, the 4-horse. And then the 3 shows an overlay from about 6 or 7 to 5 to 3 to 1. The 3 has the only part plus number, and all but the 6 show C-zone numbers, although that 8 is pretty low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looking, you got a little bit of a green go horse here, too. Strong C-zone, great chance to be on the lead. Your lone par plus and a overlay as our simulation favorite. Our race shape in race number 7 shows us that, again, a race that leans heavily towards the early speed. The 8 and 9 want to close. The 6-horse never been close at the start of the race. Does look like Navy Rules, Sueno Profundo, Boom Boom Kaboom. Those 3 be out front, about a length ahead of everybody else. They got to be careful not to burn each other out. Bluey will be coming at the end, although Navy Rules, one of those front runners, should also have enough late legs to contend down the stretch. Finally, Navy Rules, 7 points better than Sueno Profundo. Boom, boom, kaboom. Bluey, your top 4. 3/4 of a length between Bluey and Tough Workout. Again, those top 4 usually where you find your winner, Terry. Where did you find yours?
I like the one, Sueno Profundo. He won his last race at Parx Racing. The rail post is winning 20% clip, and he drops in class today. Navy Rules, the 3-horse, is my second choice, has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Best dirt speed is fast among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. The 4, Boom Boom Kaboom, third choice, ran second versus similar in his last race and has a high percentage winning jockey as well. The 8, Bluey, is my long shot. He has been knocking at the door, finishing third in his last 3 starts, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. I'm going to play the last pick 4 of Miami Vice, Don Johnson, the 1, 3, 4, 8 with the 1, 8, with the 2, 4, 6, 7 with the 1, 8, 9. That's a $48 ticket.
All right. I'm going to start with the 3-horse, Navy Rules. There, I almost singled him in my pick 4, but I did put him in the top to win. Good chance to be your pace setter. Green Go horse, top total pace is 7. I think that one has a great chance to win. Number 1, Sueno Profundo does have rising speed figures, and this is a distance. He's performed well 2 times out, a win and a third. Financial strength, the 9-horse, does have the back class to score in this race, Terry. Did show signs of life in its last effort with better early pace numbers. Bluey, the 8-horse, is my final choice, like you. Some solid late speed, and I feel like going a little bit longer today than he has recently could be beneficial. I'm going to start my pick 4 with the 1, 3, 1, 2, 6, 8 4, 6, 7, 8, 6, 9, 13 on the back. And I'm going to put all of my $16 on that 3-horse to win. We've got 3 races to go, Terry. Enough time to do race number 8, I feel. So let's talk about the 8th race.
It's 1 mile and 70 yards. It's an optional claiming race, $16,000 claiming price if you elect to put your horse in there to possibly be claimed. Purse $30,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of $8,000 or less since July 15th, 2022, or claiming price of $16,000.
So yeah, another 2-horse race, the 3 and the 1. If the 3 runs to as fast as races, he wins for fun. Yeah, I felt like that too on that 3-horse. That's why I put 16 on him. I'm hoping that I get some decent odds on that one. As far Saratoga Racing, 18 US dollars. Well, there's nothing we do for 18 US dollars, so I don't know what that's about, Tafum. I think ours is like $15. So maybe you have us confused with somebody else. I'm not sure. Race number 8, in terms of the mile and 70 yards, optional claiming $16,000. We talked about it early speed wins. 41% of the time it wins on the lead. A rail discount for Divine Miracle. Maybe some folks might say that's what happened on Saturday, Terry, a Divine Miracle. Otherwise, who knows what this place would be like this morning.
Yeah,
at true. Race number 8, 1 mile and 70 yards, along with that early rail edge. 2 and 3 get a bonus. Discount. 2 and 3 get a bonus. 4 and 7 a discount. 8 now a bonus again. So a little bit of accordion action. We're looking for some speed, Terry, in the 8th race. Who has the most of it?
Well, it looks like the 1 to me has the most speed, followed up by the 3 and the 8. But the 1 should get there, I would think, unless it gets a bad break. The 1 also shows an overlay from 4 to 5 to 3 to 1. The 1 and the 8 show the only par plus numbers, and all of them show some kind of C-zone numbers.
Race shape, trip handicapping, 1 and 8. They have versatility, so neither of them needs to be on the lead. So we'll see what that happens there. 2, 3, and 7 have some versatility. So if the 1 and 8 go too slow, you really have a versatile field here, Terry, with 5 of the 8 horses really can run anywhere on the track. So I feel like this is going to be really dictated by early pace. Divine Miracle could get off to an easy lead. If it does get off to an easy lead, also has the late speed to close the race out. Although Sophos from way in the back, maybe 4 lengths back, has maybe a 1 length advantage. So that one's going to have to scoot forward a little bit. Maybe picks up the pieces at the end, as you see in our top total pace. But Divine Miracle, 10 points better. Maybe one of those horses Tom talks about. Low odds, 2nd place. But if not, this one looks like it should be a winner, Terry. And I think you have tagged it as your bet of the day.
It is my bet of the day. The 1, Divine Miracle, finished in the money in his last 3 races, and he won 2 of those starts. He has a high percentage winning trainer. Vine Jet, the 8th, second choice. He finished in the money in 6 races out of the last 7 starts, winning 2 of the starts, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters, actually tied with another horse. Spinster Red is the 3, has won 2 races out of the last 4 starts, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Sophos is my long shot, the 5 horse. He ran 2nd versus Tupper in his last race, and he drops in class today, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to take my $16 and bet it all to win on the 1 horse.
I don't know how I knew it was going to be your bet of the day there, Terry. It's a little bit of a hint, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 1 horse for me, too, Divine Miracle. Another green go horse, dark C-zone, really strong chance to be on the lead. Absolutely, by far the best par plus horse. Again, par plus meaning 43% of the time. When we ran 10,000 simulations, our simulations generated a speed figure of at least 90. I think that horse has a great chance to win. Vine Jet, the 8 horse. Class dropping in here, Terry. The most upside in the race and did show some improved early speed last out. I think perhaps, Gary, another 2-horse race in here between the 1 and the 8, because I'm always trying to find something a little bit outside the range there. Yes, sir, Colonel. First up, following some rest. Nice workout on June the 27th, and then has a workout. My only worry about Divine Miracle, though, is the horse did put together a pair of peak speed figures. So when you're going through your handicapping and you see here like 91, 91, those are peak numbers because they're higher than anything else that you see on here. And then sometimes when you see paired peak, the next race is regression. So keep that in mind when you're doing handicapping. Usually it's 2. Sometimes they can stretch it out to 3, but it is something to be cautious of when you're looking at favorites. Number 2, Centurion, or any horse for that matter. Centurion is my 4th pick. This one, I'm going to take another flyer here on the class drop, Terry, in the money. The last 3 times this horse raced anywhere near the same conditions it is in today. Number 3, Spicer Red. If you can forgive the last couple, he has races that can win this. The 3 horse, that's what Terry has in his 3rd spot. I just look at that Centurion at 20-1. If you look at the last 3 times the horse was around this price, he won once, I think, a 2nd and a 3rd in there. At 20-1 might be well worth that risk. That maybe that's just its level. How long do we have to the race 9, Terry? No minutes.
No minutes.
So let's go back to race number 2. Here are our picks. Right now, the 11 horse is your 5-2 lukewarm favorite. The 13 is tied up with that one at 5-2. And that one's from 4-1 morning line. Next up is the 9 at 7-2. The 7 at 9-2, a formful. The 3 horse at 11-1. Looking at the our simulations here, looks like the 9 horse, Ike's Gamble, at 3-1 is the value play. Also the strongest par plus horse in there. So if you're looking to just make a straight win bet, it looks like the horse to focus on is the 9 in there, Ike's Gamble. Let's see where they are in the gates. Looks like they're all about to get in because they've moved to the front angle again. Let's just see if they go to that side angle. They have gone to the side angle. They've zoomed in on the gates. The final starter's assistant is in, and they're off and running. And Jessica Paquette letting us know what the outcome is. Man, that 11 horse is going to get a tough trip, Terry, because he's going to be forced, about 4 wide, 5 wide through the first turn. Very difficult place to be. I think the 10 horse, yes, indeed. Freedom Eagle, the one that we thought would be on the lead, is on the lead. The 11 horse has been able to get up into a better second path right there, sitting right behind the 10 horse at 12-1 as they go around the opening turn, and maybe a little bit fast, 23-2 for this level. That 6 horse right there in the mix as well, along with that 9, who at one point was the value horse, and by the time the gates opened was no longer the value horse, Terry. Got a gap back of about 3 horses, it looks like. I can't tell if that's the 8 horse that is because I'm looking at the screen. I don't get the benefit of binoculars. Around the corner they go after running a 47-3. I think they're probably trying to slow it down, but still probably going a little on the fast side in there, Terry. Through the turn they go. The 10 is starting to separate a little bit. The 9 horse is trying to get involved. So even after running fast fractions, that 10 horse trying to get away from everybody. Down on the rail, somebody's trying to make an effort to get into this mix here, but that 10 horse, Freedom Eagle, your long shot going to win the 2nd race in a row there, Terry. At 12-1. 7 horses trying to get in the mix, but it's not going to be him today, Terry. It's going to be the 10. You left that one off, and it's going to be your winner. Somebody closing in here pretty hard for 2nd. It looks like the 13 horse is going to get up there maybe for 2nd. But the 10 horse, an easy winner. Sure looks today like, to me, folks, speed is the way to the winner's circle. Because they ran pretty quick fractions, still managed to find the win. 2. All right, so finally, let's go to race number 9. Not happy with the start to this day at all, Terry. Tell us about race 9.
Okay, it's a 6 furlongs, an optional claiming race, and it's a $50,000 claiming price, $53,000 purse for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 3 races other than maiden claimant starter or state bred, or which have never won 4 races, or a claiming price of $50,000, or which have not won a race since April 15th.
Whew. Yeah, 6 furlongs. That's how I feel about this day so far today. Stalkers do good. 34% of the time they go wire to wire. There's a rail bonus. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 and out, a small discount. So be on the inside 3. Be blazing fast. Most likely be the winner and start in your late double. Only a 5-horse field, Terry. Who's got that speed in the shortened up field?
Well, that 7 shows the most speed, and it should get to that quarter pole first. And then the 7 has an overlay of about what?
Not the 7.
No, that's not. Oh, I'm sorry. The 2. The 2 has an overlay from 8 to 5 to 6 to 1, and the 4 has an overlay from about almost 4 to 1, 10 to 1. The 2 and the 4 show the par plus numbers, and all of them show some kind of C zones.
Race shape for the last beginning of the late double. Okay, everybody wants to be forward. The 5 and the 7, pretty versatile, so maybe they're going to get the trip that they need to win. Trader's Luck going to be on that lead, about 3/4 of a length in front of Talented Man. Those two should really get after it. Smooth B going to be right there too, although only 8 points separate the top 5. So a misstep, a bump, a little bit of a bolt out or something along those lines, you could be at the back of the pack. Talented Man will be at the front of the pack when they're running down the stretch in terms of late speed ability. Scaramouche, can you do the Fandango? Right there too, Terry. Looks like this 5-horse field, the only horse that doesn't, well, looks like Talented Man in a league of its own. And then the next 4, anything goes. So maybe you put the 7 on top and then try to go long shot behind it in your exacta.
It could be. I like that 7 Talented Man. He won his last race at Pimlico, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Scaramouche, the 2 is my second choice, ran second in his last race. He has a high percentage winning trainer, and he has a high percentage winning jockey, which is Paco Lopez, who's already won a race today. And then the 6, Smooth B, is my third choice. He's ran second versus Simmer his last race. He has a high percentage winning trainer. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. Trader's Luck's my long shot to the 4. He has won 2 races in a row and going for a hat trick now, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I have no more money left, so I can't make any other bets.
7 for me too today. Talented Man is that top total pace horse by 5. Probably sits right off the pace and then runs around him. But I'd say what we've seen so far in the first 2, I think you might want to get to the lead. Trader's Luck, 5-horse field, maybe the second longest shot. That's another one with a good chance to be on the lead, and that looks like that's the winning style today. Smooth B drops from a pair of non-graded stakes races, although when it did run at this level last out, a couple of races, I mean, the last time it ran at this level, it really didn't finish well either. Scaramouche, winner 6 of 12 at Parx, and the last race was a little bit better than it looks for our simulated odds favorite. The last race of the day is race number 10. Terry, this one I think is wide open. Let's see what's taking a shot with Noble Gastrum, number 5, going to outbreak them and wire them at the longest price on the board yet. Again, Stephen Fielder, who wins a lot of those contests, is at Horse Tourney. We had him on how to win a contest. And he mentioned that the people who play contests, one of their rules is in 5-horse fields, take the longest shot on the board. And I cannot tell you how many times we've seen that come to pass.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Well, this 10th race, I was going to tell you, it's a 7-furlong race, claiming $5,000 claiming price. Purse $18,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since January 15th.
Now, usually 7 furlongs is the least important distance in terms of early speed. The lowest numbers go wire to wire at Parx, although the number's gone up from about 14, 15% to 19% recently. So front runners getting the job done of late at the 7 furlong. The tweener distance, there's a 1, 2, and 3 bonus. And inside and out, the closer you are to the rail, the better. So if you could be in the inside 3 and have some speed, you got a chance. But once again, we find one horse in this field that's a lot faster than everybody else and didn't make it into our picks, and we'll probably regret it.
Yeah, probably. Sea Trident. It's my first alternate, I believe. It's got the most speed in here. The 7 has an overlay from 2 to 1 to 12 to 1, and the 9 has an overlay from about 5 to 2 to 5 to 1. The 7 and 9 show the only par plus numbers, and 12 and 13 show the best C zones.
And our last time for this Monday that we'll take a look at the trip handicapping. First time today, we see kind of that lone E with everybody else that wants to be a co-pilot or sit and coach. If the 9 can get to the lead, could be a wire-to-wire type. He's a little bit quicker than Sea Trident or Ashot or Rudy Rod. So maybe a good shot. I mean, the rest of these folks really don't look like they're interested in getting to the lead. So outside of Sea Trident, all the speed's to its outside. So the 9 could clear relatively easily, making it a lone E. Nests around Donkey. What? Donker? Whatever. That one has the most late speed. Pretty tight nicks in here in terms of everybody. Only 7, down to about here. Not a lot of difference between the front and the back in terms of late speed. This race should be won early on by positioning. Jacahore is your top total pace, although C Trident right off its heels. Again, just a little bit of a ratcheting down, 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 all the way to here before you get like a real big difference between it and the next closest horse. So maybe you can cross out the 3, 12, and 6, and then maybe the rest of it's wide open between these. Terry, what do you think?
Yeah, I like 8, the Angry Man. He finished second versus Similar in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Henry the Third is my second choice. He's the one horse, finished third versus Similar in his last race, and the distance won't be a problem. Jock O'Hare, the 9, is my third choice, drops in class today, has a bullet workout on 21st of June. And then the 11, C Trident, my long shot, drops in class today, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. That's it for me. No other bets in this race.
I'm going to go with that 9 horse. This is your lone E type. Gets to the front, stays on the front, and never gives it up. I've seen that way too many times to overlook that one. Number 13, a Rudy Rod. I find there's always a reason why horses, trainers want to be in a race as an alternative entry, hoping that they can scratch in. This one's been pretty solid at Parx too. In the money, 11 of 19. Maybe doesn't win, but there must be some reason they want this guy in there. The Angry Man. This is kind of how I feel a little bit today with all the problems we're having with social media, but so be it. Just missed at this level, last out. Did so with a little bit of better early pace. And then finally the 6, Elvirus. I'm going to take another flyer right here. Elvirus showed a huge jump in its early pace last time out, making the third start after a layoff, following race improvement for all internals from gate to wire in its last. There, that wraps up our picks for today. Your long shots winning race 1 and 2.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Well, I mean, it would have been nice if we put them in our picks, but we didn't. I mean, in our bets. So,
I'm disappointed in myself for figuring that out. So, if I had a bigger budget, I'd be putting it in there.
But that's the idea, right? Nobody has unlimited hypothetical budgets.
Yep.
All right. Again, today, free picks today over a guaranteed tip sheet. Again, take them. And we don't do anything for $18, so that kind of strikes me as odd. But head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link in the description below. Let them know that you want a refund. Tell them your username and password when you bought, and they'll take care of it for you. For the 4th time, it's not something I can do for you. Somebody else handles that. Haskell this weekend, a very big race out at Monmouth Park with what looks like going to be a pretty nice field. It will be a wagering guide, so make sure you check that out later on the week. We'll update you as to when that is available. Just a few minutes, Terry will post all of our comments and a replay over at horseracingtoday.net. Make sure you head on over there to catch up on all of our notes. Of course, in the description on YouTube, we'll timestamp every race so you can come back and look to see who's Terry's long shot is. That way you know which horse to play. And then finally, when you're there, hit the HRT gear. Get yourself a hat, a T-shirt, a mug, an apron for the barbecue this summer, something to help support the show. We would greatly appreciate that. Tomorrow, Terry and I will be back for Parx, same time as always. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, we'll be tackling Saratoga. And we'll do so for the entirety of the Saratoga meet when available. Friday, Tom and I looking to rebound. Had a tough day at the office at Newmarket. So hopefully we can do better next week at Ascot, which is a pretty tough place to go to. Crazy Long Shot 3 has done nothing with jockeys 2 for 2 at the meet, wins 31%, 100% for the trainer the last 60 days. Maybe get the source to show speed and shock the world. Let's hope that indeed that is the case for Scary Creations in that last race. Terry, any final thoughts from you before you and I get up and get out of here on Money Monday?
Yeah, I'm really glad that the temperature here in the West has cooled down, and I'm hoping it's going to do the same throughout the nation. I'm happy that Trump did not get killed. I mean, it's terrible to do anything like that to anybody. And, just everybody, I feel, should calm down a little bit and relax. Just, go with the flow. I mean, it's nice to be alive today, and go ahead and tell your friends and loved ones how you feel. That's about it.
Well, I feel like I can use some more winners today, Terry. Been a kind of a rough start with the technology, just like one problem after the next. Hopefully tomorrow, though, we can get everything resolved. According to Sean, again, who manages our social sites, if you need any help, reach out to him as well, because he's wonderful at the social media stuff. At Horse Race, the number 2 day. You can find that on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, anywhere else people communicate online. Only place with different handles here on YouTube at Horse Racing Radar TV. Make sure you subscribe, thumbs up, like us, follow us. You know the routine at all of the different social sites. Share our content with your friends. We greatly appreciate that. Any interactivity, sharing, comments, all of the above, coming back to rewatch the races helps us with their algorithms. So when people search, they're more likely to find us. Again, you'll find us tomorrow right here. Till then, we certainly hope that no matter what it is you're doing today, chasing your life dreams, that you got God's favor, God's grace, treat everybody else with respect, and may everything you do today end up in
the winner's circle.
Indeed. We'll see you tomorrow.